sudden appearance of the COVID-19 pandemic, the world is thrown into an unexpected state of chaos. Lockdown happened all over the world, and this resulted in millions, if not more, losing their jobs and income source. This results in an overall decrease in mental state of people all over the world. One of the most prominent problems faced by many people is an increase in anxiety levels. This may be caused by the loss of income or uncertainty about the future. Thus, our research is regarding the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the stress and anxiety of demographic. We have chosen this topic because we have been made aware of the deterioration in the mental state of the general populace, particularly those in the education sector. For example, 2 UiTM students have died due to extreme stress and anxiety, Rueda Magazine 2021. A news article also mentioned an increased suicide cases and calls to suicide helplines across the country due to financial and family problems, Hassan 2021. This leads us to do more research regarding the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on the mental health of demographic. Hence, the objective of our research is to find out the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on the psyche of the demographic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings. My name is Muhammad Alif bin Zahari, and today I'll be taking over from Luqmanul as the presenter of this section. And in this section, I'll explain to you first the operational definition of our subject matter, which is anxiety, and the second one is the review of studies that we have done in order to gather data for our research. Alright, so we based our definition of anxiety on two sources. The first of which is a study conducted by Erwin G. Sharizan and his associates, in which they describe the model definition of anxiety as, and I quote, an unpleasant emotional state or condition which is marked by apprehension. We also looked at Charles D. Spielberger's book, in which he described anxiety as an unpleasant emotional state or condition which is characterized by strong feelings of tension, apprehension, and worry, and arousal or activation of the autonomic nervous system. Alright, so with the definition out of the way, I'll proceed with the literatures. The first study that we reviewed is a study done by the APA, or the American Psychiatric Association. And in the study, they have found out that 48% of all Americans are concerned about getting or contracting the COVID-19 virus, while 40% are concerned with becoming severely ill or dying from the virus, and 62% are concerned about their families and friends contracting the virus. The sample size is about 126,000 people, and the method in which they use to gather data is through polls. And the second study that we have reviewed is a study conducted by Muhammad Faris Iman Leong bin Abdullah and his associates, in which they have discovered that about 23.9% of all Malaysians suffer from depression, while 41.7% shows signs of anxiety, and 19.9% exhibited both depression and comorbid anxiety symptoms. The sample size is about 326 people, and the research is conducted through questionnaire. And research, the third study that we have reviewed is a study conducted by P. Highland in the Republic of Ireland, in which that the researchers have found out that about 20% of all Irish people exhibited symptoms of anxiety, while 22.8% reported symptoms of depression, and 27.7% of all Irish people reported symptoms of both anxiety and depression. P. Hyland and his colleagues utilized the method of collecting self-reports with a sample size of about 280 people. Now we'll move on to my colleague, Sofia binti Halim, to explain our findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Alif. Hi, I'm Amal, and I will present to you the findings of our research. We have also carried out our own research regarding this subject matter. The following datasets have many similarities, but they have enough differences to warrant separate description for each chart. As you can see here, 60% of our respondents are females, while the rest are males. The majority of our respondents are students at 65.6%. The second highest demographic present in our research is teacher at 21.5%. Only 5.6% of our sample is from parent demographic, while 7.3% are of an unspecified demographic, such as employees. In the first item of our questionnaire, the majority of our respondents, which is 47.2%, only feel restless sometimes, while 45.6% experience little to no restlessness. Only a small percentage of our respondents, which is 7.2%, experience constant restlessness. This indicates that a small percentage of people might have great concern regarding the current pandemic, as it might have directly affected their lives. In the next item of our questionnaire, 39.5% of our respondents reported that they easily annoyed sometimes, while 31.3% reported that they rarely feel annoyed. A surprising 90% of respondents reported constant feeling annoyed, while only 10.2% say that they experience no annoyance at all. The result from this item indicates a deterioration in respondents' overall mental state, which might cause them to feel annoyed rather easily. In the third item, 43% of our respondents reported that they feel nervous sometimes, while 30.8% seldom feel nervous, and close to 50% reported that they never feel nervous. 11.3% of respondents have reported constant feeling of nervousness. This item shows that our respondents experience concern, possibly regarding the immediate future. In the next item, 84.6% of our respondents reported that they can still cope with their anxiety, while 8.2% have reported that they are only able to cope sometimes. A small percentage, which is 7.2%, have reported that they are unable to cope with their anxiety. As mentioned before, this points to a lack of reliable and consistent coping mechanism for some people. This item indicates that a staggering 76.4% of our respondents bear some sort of anxiety regarding the future, while 16.4% reported that they do not feel anxious at all. 7.2% of our respondents reported feeling anxious sometimes. With the state that the world is in, it is not hard to see the reasoning behind this feeling of anxiety. In the next item, 84.6% of our respondents reported that they can still cope with their anxiety, while 8.2% have reported that they are only able to cope sometimes. A small percentage, which is 7.2%, have reported that they are unable to cope with their anxiety. As mentioned before, this points to a lack of reliable and consistent coping mechanism for some people. This item indicates that 54.9% of our respondents feel safe about their surroundings, while 31.8% feel otherwise. 8.2% of respondents reported that they only feel safe sometimes, while 5.1% are unsure. This may have some correlation with our respondents' feeling of anxiety. This next item in our questionnaire showed that 45.1% of our respondents share the problem with others, while 11.3% of our respondents only tell about their problems to others sometimes. A surprising 43.6% of our respondents have reported that they have never told anyone about their problems. This might indicate an underlying trust issue in oneself. This item indicates that only 2.6% of our respondents have met a doctor regarding their mental health, while the rest have not. This might have some degrees of significant effect with the previous dataset. The sample size that we use in our research is 195. We have utilized a questionnaire to gather information regarding the issue that we are researching.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iesya Liyana binti Wazid. I will be taking over the previous presenter to present to you about the discussion of our research. From the data that we have collected, we can confidently reach the conclusion of our research. Based on the data obtained from our literature review, the COVID-19 pandemic has undeniably affected the mental health of people worldwide in a significant manner. The loss of income, sedentary lifestyle, and loss of freedom because of COVID-19 pandemic have caused a significant increase in cases of anxiety, depression, and even suicide. As mentioned before, a deterioration in the mental states of people from USA, Candy 2020, Ireland, P. Handy 2020, and even Malaysia, Muhammad Faris Iman Leong bin Abdullah 2021 has been apparent based on the result of these researches. We also found out that anxiety can increase one likelihood of committing suicide, Hassan 2021. And it is also related to an increase in cases of depression, P. Halim 2020. However, our findings indicate a milder variety of effect from anxiety. We have isolated three aspects that might be the main causes of concerns for our respondents. The first aspect is personal stability. Some employees are anxious about drastic changes that may happen at their workplace. To help alleviate this problem, we suggest setting a daily routine. A routine might help someone to retain a sense of consistency in their life, which might help in a world full of turmoil and sudden, unexpected changes. A routine might also help someone retain a semblance of control in their life, which might help them preserve their mental health. This method might also work to cope with financial instability. In these trying times, many people got laid from their jobs. Thus, being in a state of financial instability is a reality for most people. Other than having a routine, people can also turn to initiative such as online business, which can help them keep a somewhat stable source of income. Students also face anxiety during these times. Online classes have put a great amount of stress on students, and some students feel worried that they might not meet their parents' expectation. This problem can be alleviated by consulting a counselor or trusted acquaintance. Based on our research, some students also exhibit some form of trust issues. To help alleviate these problems, we have also made a website in which students can vent their frustrations, and we will offer some solutions to them. This might help the students re-evaluate their concerns and preserve their mental health. After all, online consultations is the way to go, considering that the pandemic severely limits one's ability to directly meet up with a therapist. Issues about health is also a great concern for many people nowadays. Some have elderly parents who live far from them, so they might not be able to check on their conditions all the time. We suggest that they keep in touch with their friends and family through social media so that they at least have some closure regarding any issues that their loved one might face. We do hope that the solutions that we suggest might help at least some people to overcome their problems. That is all. Thank you.
This is the list of reference that we use in our research. That is all from us. Thank you.